Hey, Andre, John O'Connor from the Richmond paper here. Is it difficult to tell whether you, as a team, accomplished what you wanted to achieve given the score?
I would say that it feels like we're in a good path. There's still stuff that we need to work on for Wednesday, but I think we're moving in the right direction and we can work, like, build on this going forward.
Hey, if I could follow up, you talk about Wednesday. Based on what you've seen from VCU, well, how would you describe the way they play and what would make them difficult to deal with?
Uh, I think they're a good team. There's some teams they've beat that we've lost to, but I think we just need to play our, like, going on Wednesday, we need to play our own game and not focus too much on them. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you.
Hey, Andre. Obviously, you guys use this game as a tune-up, presumably off the COVID pause. What percentage would you say you guys are at, both in kind of game shape and, game shape and fatigue, and being back to 100% off this pause?
I would say that we're like around the 80%. It's kind of hard to like kind of jump straight from like quarantine isolation to playing, but I think come Wednesday we'll be like 100% ready to play and give our best.
Looking at this VCU team, obviously another good team again this year, but a lot different from last year, right? No Marcus Evans, no Marcus Santos Silva, Deontay Jenkins, among multiple other guys. But again, back at the top of the conference, and you guys are a little bit different. Like you said, no Nick, Tyler's a starter. How do you see this matchup being a little bit different on Wednesday versus last year?
I think we can expect the totally same team that we've like played the last couple of years because they got like new players and like some experienced players that we know, but still they're like a new team. But yeah, we just gotta play our own game. That's it.
Thanks.
Hey, Andre, I have a question for you. How frustrating was this pause as opposed to the other two you guys had dealt with?
It was more frustrating than the first two for sure because this was way longer, and I think we just got in the rhythm after our like second one. I think we only played 2 games during that period, and yeah, it was really frustrating. But there's nothing we can do, and the only thing we can do is just focus on the next games and our conditioning and getting ready for like the rest of the season.
During that time, if I can follow up, during that time, what were you able to do personally to kind of stay mentally, physically sharp for whenever you guys were able to get back on the court?
Um, I was watching a lot of the games on TV, just to like kind of like keep up with the other teams. And then, I mean, I had a tennis ball in my room, so I was like dribbling that around. And that's how I kept myself occupied.
Appreciate it, Andre.
Anything else? Thank you, Andre.
Thank you.
Well, I'd like to thank St. Mary's for coming down. I thought it was really important for us to play, deal with game pressure, and there's a big difference in playing a game. There's a big difference. I mean, if you have a turnover in practice, usually you talk about it, come back, and then the team gets the ball again. In a game, there's a turnover, you have to run back, and you have to deal with the your sadness of turning the ball over and right away have energy to play defense. And I thought that was important for us to experience that and to go through that. And we kind of said ideally it would be close at the first media and that we'd be able to play a lot of guys, and that's how it turned out. So we appreciate St. Mary's coming down, and I think it was good for us, and we'll know more going forward.
Hey, Chris, how do you feel about Wednesday, just generally, given the pause and tonight? Any way to ascertain whether this is helpful?
Well, I hope so. I think it's really a really significant and really, really hard challenge, John. If we had been snowed out a couple of days, but been together and being able to play, that'd be one thing. But just to be isolated and not be able to be together and not be able to exercise, I really think it's an incredibly challenging game ahead of us and a couple weeks ahead of us. But we're working as hard as we can to try to meet that challenge. I think tonight helps because we also practiced earlier today. So that's, 2 more times in the gym. And playing a game, I think, helps because of the game pressure that comes with any opponent, even one that you're much better than. So I hope so. It'll be far different on Wednesday, but we're looking forward to trying to meet the challenge.
Anything new on a scheduling front?
There's nothing new on the scheduling front, although, as far as I know, I think the A10 is going to look at the schedule. I think, I don't know if it's game by game, but maybe week by week. Some teams have separated themselves in terms of NCAA opportunities, and I think they're going to try to do that. Now we have a very good schedule in terms of being able to have the opportunity to play VCU twice at St. Louis. We'd probably desire to add another game. I think we have 6 games scheduled or 5 in the open date on March 6th. We'd love to add another game, I think. But we'll see, John. There's so many variables in play. But we're going to try to play the best possible teams we can down the stretch.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach. Looking back, hindsight's obviously 2020. I think this game, everyone understood why you did it, especially after what happened with LaSalle. We need the tune-up, but winning by that margin, how much do you think this does prepare you and tune you guys up for Wednesday? Of like you said, it's hard to get the energy up to play defense when you're up 40. Do you even lose some benefit of playing this game when you're not playing super intensely?
Well, I actually thought we were playing intensely, to be honest with you. I think that, Sullivan went in with 7 minutes to go. So I think everybody that played out there was playing with intensity. I think that obviously there's we have much better players than St. Mary's does. But I do think guys were digging in and trying and playing intensely. So, it'd be impossible. We couldn't find a Division I team to play and probably wouldn't have wanted to be honest. We just wanted to play a game and have some of that show up. And I think our defense was much better in the second half, which is a good sign. I thought the first 4-6 minutes, there was a little bit of a fog there that also I recognized against LaSalle for a certain amount of time. So hopefully we're trying to snap out of that. I don't think there's any, playing a game is important to us. Our options were limited, and I do think guys were in there and playing hard because when their time came, it might have been their first time into the game late.
Yeah. Andre also said after the game that he guesses you guys are about 80% right now in terms of game shape and getting back into it. What needs to happen between now and Wednesday to get to 100%? And is the expectation to be at 100% on Wednesday?
Yeah, I would think for some guys, maybe 100%. I think it'd be hard for everybody. Basketball players at this level train year round. They're on campus all summer. They're doing a lot to get ready for a season, and then all of a sudden to have all these days to not be able to exercise, that'd be impossible. I think for most guys to get to 100%. Incredible guys like Jacob, maybe because of just his amazing abilities, including that. Maybe Blake. But I think it'd be a tall order to be at 100% for the other guys. And we're going to need contributions from everybody. And we're going to need guys to come in and play off the bench. And it's going to be VCU where there's pressure and the games are intense for the rivalry purposes and then sped up because of the style of play. So I can't imagine everybody be at 100%. But we're going to, if our effort's at 100%, right, I think that could take care of a few things.
Just one last question here. You also got a lot of guys in tonight. Isaiah Wilson and Jamon Bailey, who we've really been waiting to see. What do you see out of those two guys?
Well, I thought Jai Bailey, he's going to be a really good player. He's so fluid and skilled, smooth, has a really good sense for how to play. He's never in a rush, a good athlete. He's really going to be a good player. Isaiah, I thought, Isaiah's gotten more minutes during the course of the season, and I think he played the most minutes tonight, which I'm happy about. And I thought that he was definitely tired and affected by that and was a little bit more up and down, but I thought that he played well overall. His speed and his craftiness is a really good combination, and I think it's going to serve him well throughout his career and hopefully Wednesday.
Guys, anything else for Coach?
I got one, Jason. Hey, Chris, I've always asked, I guess, the players, what do they do to kind of stay mentally and physically sharp? Before you personally, during this pause, what were you able to do to stay mentally sharp for whenever you guys were able to get back on the court?
I try to have long conversations with Jason Vita. That's number one. He keeps me sharp. Sean, I think that probably all of us, I think, so I'll speak for myself. I don't think we're very good at that. I mean, I think it's an impossible situation to manage. Again, there are far worse things that have happened and people are in far worse conditions. But I think it's an impossible situation to manage. You're just kind of stuck. And so watching games, but we don't want to come in and change too many things because we're trying to get our guys just back to a rhythm and we don't want to put a big change in front of them to also try to tackle. So in terms of like scribbling different plays, that doesn't seem to be a great idea. We can't travel to recruit, understandably. So that's difficult. I think that's pretty, I don't think we did a very good job of that, I'm sure, as coaches.
I mean, did you get a chance? I'm assuming you had a chance to do some Zoom meetings with the guys.
Sure.
You couldn't be in person with them. Did you
Yeah.
that kind of help?
Yes.
For the game?
Yeah, for sure. I think talking to the guys, and I talked to the parents or, some of our guys' parents, talk to the guys. I think the isolation is just a really, really difficult thing to manage for any age person. I think it's really a difficult thing for an extended period of time. And so talking to the guys was the best part, having Zooms, kind of keeping them posted on what we were thinking in terms of when we came out and, scheduling this game, getting their input. Those are the highlights for sure, because there's the connection there. But nothing could replace just being together and working out and practicing all the things that are traditionally part of being on a team.
Appreciate it, Chris.
Thanks, Sean.